All right, so we are here with Amanda Yule. Amanda, we actually met at Lori Foster's event last year.
Right.
And I remember, boy, your table was like set up so perfect and all these people were there. And it's like, well, I'm gonna have to get some of those books, obviously, but it's fun. It's actually, I was telling someone earlier, Lori Foster's event's one of my favorite to go to because it's small enough that it feels like you really could meet people and get to know people. So was that your first time to go?
That was my first time as an author. I had been there for 3 years as a reader and absolutely loved the event. Met so many nice people and, different authors and readers. And so then I was fortunate enough to be able to go that year, and I was lucky enough to get to sit beside you and get to know you.
Yeah, it was really fun. So here we are. I don't know if we're going to get to go. It doesn't look good. I mean, I want to hold out hope till the bitter end, I guess. But, I was part of the reason Readers Entertainment's doing these kind of uncut videos is because authors can't go to those events right now. And I feel like when authors are at those events, that's a time in which the reader actually gets to know you, the personality of the author. And I think, you get to know an author. If you like someone, you're going to try their book. You are, you have that personal connection. And I feel sad that, that those events have been canceled. And I'm sad that we have this pandemic and sad for everybody who's been affected by it. But I absolutely wanted people to maybe get a chance to see your personality and see what I saw last year. Just, so many people, it was like you were best friends with everybody. It was great. And everyone was having such a good time. So Who are you sequestered with right now?
So I'm sequestered with my family, which is not my whole family, though. My oldest son is in college, so he is still in his house at school, finishing up his last year of school. But I'm with my husband and my 2 children. One is a college-age child, my son. And
it looks like we may have a little bit of a glitch with the internet. So when I go back over this, I don't edit that. But if there's too much wrong with it, we'll just pick another time because I don't want I don't want people to miss out.
Sure.
So you're sequestered with your family. What are you guys doing to pass the time?
So we have been playing a lot of games. I don't know if you're familiar with the game Catan. Have you ever played that game?
Settlers of Catan, yes.
Yes, and I have never played that until this pandemic, and I've really enjoyed that. And then we bought an extension pack for that game because you can build other worlds onto the game. And so I'm learning more.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that game's as bad as Monopoly. It can just go on and on.
It can. It's more fun though. I've never liked Monopoly because Monopoly, you can take people's, their cities away, and this is much more friendly. You keep your settlements. You just are trying to bargain for more material. So it's a lot of fun.
So are you doing any writing while you're sequestered?
I am. I try to write every day. I don't know about you, but it's been kind of difficult, honestly, to write. You would think, being writers, that you would love this time period, just being introverted and kind of being on your own. But what I find is that I can't concentrate. There's too many distractions, people. I tend to like to write in a local coffee shop is where I do a lot of my writing. And I work from home. I work 5 days a week. I have a day job. And so I have an office at home, but I'm in that office 8 hours a day, 5 days a week for the day job. So I don't want to be in this place. It's like a little prison, I don't want to be in the office to do my writing.
It's so funny you say that. I also am working from home. I'm one of those lucky people that that I can do that. And like you said, it's 8 hours a day, 5 days a week in one spot. And I told my husband, we're actually going to make a different area. We have like a little tiny house on the property. And it's like, you know what, I'm going to take that over and turn that into, you know, my writing area. Cause you're right. It after 8 hours, you're done. You don't want to go back in there. You just you want to escape.
Yeah.
So
I'm jealous of your writing, your writing shack or whatever you're going to call it.
yeah. Yeah. I hope it turns out. I'll have to take pictures and send them to you when it's done.
Please.
Currently, I'm in a little area. Usually I write from the TARDIS. I have a life-size TARDIS and I work out of that. But since I'm working my regular job, I had to move everything and I'm in my typewriter museum. I have a tiny little typewriter museum.
Oh, I see the typewriter back there. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's lots and lots.
Wow, look at that. How cool.
And yeah, so it's still, like you said, after 8 hours you're kind of done. And there are a lot of distractions, even though you're doing a whole lot of nothing. You're playing, play games or binge watch or binge. I have reread every book Lisa Kleypas has ever written. It's just, oh my gosh, it's crazy. But it's nice because now it's like, okay, I need to find some new material. There's only so many times I can reread the same book. Now, are you still working on Crosswaves?
I am. That book should come out this year, though I do have the cover now. I haven't really shared that yet, but I'm still going through edits with my editor. But I do suspect that will come out, over the summer or towards the fall. So that book is done. It's just a matter of finishing the edits.
Now, I was very interested. So I'm looking at your website before I get on here so I could find out what you've been doing recently. And then I got stopped cold. Everybody has things that, that they like to read. I like a lot of paranormal stuff. I did see that your new one coming out has some paranormal. But I want to know about what's the Mind Control series?
Yeah, so Crosswaves, the book that I just mentioned, that is the second in that series. It's called the Mind Hackers series because the characters hack into minds and they guard the nation's intellectual property. So every country has their hackers that have the ability to hack into minds. And they do it through energy waves, so the brain waves. And so they partner with, it takes a female and a male, and this is a genetic anomaly that runs in certain families. And so every country has their own. And then it's almost like a battle in the mind happening. And honestly, I based that off of, I worked in a cybersecurity department for many years. And so I based it off of what's really happening in the world, but in technology, hacking into computers, not people's minds. But interestingly, after that book came out, I get a lot of Google results for that title. And there's all sorts of technology being developed right now with people's brainwaves. Believe it or not, they have figured out how to, with technology, read people's minds, basically. And it's very scary because that was total fantasy, but yet the reality is it's possible with technology to read people's brainwaves. So
those make the best. Yeah, those make the best books. So Mind Hackers series, the one that you're working on that hopefully will come out this year, is the second in the series. Now I've got to ask you, I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit. If you had that kind of power, what would you do with it?
That is the ultimate question. What would you do with it? These books are about control, and they're not for everybody. Some people don't like, the idea of, being such a controlling personality, because the men in the story, they can hack into minds. They have power. And when you have power, with great power comes great responsibility. So I don't know. I think it would be very tempting to hack into people's minds. The premise, or what intrigued me about the idea, was the idea of, what if somebody were reading your mind and you had no idea? So what if they had the power to hack into your mind and read your thoughts and you had no idea? And what if a man became so fascinated with a woman after reading her mind that he fell in love with her? And she had no idea all this time he's reading her mind, that he sees her on a regular basis and has no idea and falls in love with her. And then suddenly she's in trouble and he has to rescue her without her knowing any of this is going on. Okay. So that was the spark that created that book. It's that idea of, you know, what would the characters do? You know, what would that, you know, if you could really do that, and if you read somebody's mind and just fell in love with who they are and the way they think first,
I love it.
before you ever met them.
You know, it was funny because I was thinking about, you know, if I had that, you know, would I want to read somebody's mind? And then I realized, man, that's a double-edged sword right there. I think I don't want to always know what somebody is thinking at all times. It might be disturbing to me. I don't know. We'll have to have the readers comment and tell us whose mind they would try to read and find out. I mean, I'm thinking, no, I don't think I want to know. How about nobody who knows me? It might be interesting to read like some celebrity's mind if you're close enough, just because you wonder what that might be like to be such a different person. But anybody that knows me, no, I don't. That's why I don't ask. Oh, honey, how do I look in this dress? You know, I know how I look in the dress. I don't need him to tell me that.
Right. Yeah, I'm sure it would be really hard actually to know what somebody else is thinking. You know, it would be very difficult to hear what people really thought.
So now, have you taken up any new hobbies or taken on any like personal projects or anything like that?
So I don't know if you know this about me from the time that we met at RAGT, but I brought this as something to show. But I like beach glass. I'm a huge beach glass collector, and so that's actually what inspired that book as well, because I like to gather beach glass. And while I was on the shore gathering beach glass, I started to think about, what if somebody were watching me? And then that's where the idea of, what if somebody could read your mind and, you know, you had no idea and they fell in love with you? What would happen next? So this hobby that really was a hobby really kind of inspired that in some ways. And I collect this is just an example of the kind of thing. I actually brought a couple examples. I like to make this little Christmas tree. So I just like to make things out of the glass, a variety of things. I had made candle votives where I glue the glass onto the votive, and then I give them away, or I sell them sometimes depending on what it is. So I've been doing a lot of that kind of stuff with the beach glass, and that's a lot of fun.
That's fun. Yeah, where I live, in the town that I live in, we have Glass Beach. And
I've heard of that.
Yes, it's pretty. Lots of people come and check it out and take little pieces of glass, to the point that the community actually has started resupplying the glass. And because people come and visit and they take, it's beautiful. But there was a dump a long time ago that was close by, and a lot of the glass was just put into the ocean right in that area. So, you know, and the ocean wears it down, and it's smooth and it's beautiful and all of that. But I love those little things that you're making. That's really cool. So now, what else? Now, how are you dealing with, like, you're all sequestered together? Is everybody kind of taking turns with chores and helping to cook?
I wish that were the case. No, that is not happening like I would like it to. You know, when you're, because of the lack of structure and routine, my kids are sleeping in far too late, staying up far too late, sleeping in far too late. They're both taking classes, but there's a little more flexibility as to when they do their assignments and turn things in. So they're kind of making the most of that. I've tried to dish out chores and I've tried to ask people, you know, different family members to make dinner some nights, but a lot of times they're just too lazy to do it. And I get hungry and then I end up being the one to cook. So I will tell you, I have tried out a lot of really good recipes.
Oh,
lately.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am not a good cook, but as a project, because I don't know if you know Lisa Kessler, she is also not a good cook, and she and I had done an interview begging people to please supply us with recipes that are easy. But I made bread myself for the first time.
Wow, look at that.
So
it turned out well.
It turned out, my husband and my son are so thrilled. So, because normally I'm truly not a good cook. I mean, it feels like the apocalypse because I cook and they actually eat it. So that's a sign. That's a sign if they're eating my cooking. Yeah. So, but yeah, I kind of, because like you, I'm working 5 days a week. I'll just tell you, it's a free for all day. So have a bowl of cereal. Good luck.
Right. Yeah, on Easter, I had everybody in the family made something. That's how we did our Easter dinner, since it was just the 4 of us. So each member of the family made a different dish, and then one person didn't have to be in the kitchen all day, which would have been me. So I appreciated that. So it's been okay. And we've been doing a lot of takeout too. I don't know what you've been doing, but.
Well, I live in this little teeny tiny coastal town. There are 2 drive-through restaurants. One is McDonald's and one is Taco Bell.
Oh gosh.
I never want to eat another McDonald's burger again. Once this is over, I am swearing off Taco Bell and McDonald's. Nothing against the restaurants. I just can't do it. It's just been done too much.
Yeah. We've been fortunate. I was just going to say, we've been fortunate. There's some really good takeout here. So like Italian restaurants, and
nice.
There's a couple different places that we like to order from. So
once we're not sequestered any longer and it's safe to go out into the world, what's the first thing you personally want to do?
Go look for beach glass. I'm waiting for summer to get here so I can get out to the lake. I live really close to Lake Erie, and we have a jet ski, and I just love to be out on the lake as my favorite thing. And it's very therapeutic. I don't know if you've ever looked for beach glass or seashells, but it's just very therapeutic to be by the water and nobody's around, and I can think. It's almost like doing yoga or having a spiritual experience,
Yes. Yeah. I am about not quite a mile and a half from the ocean. So you can actually hear the ocean from my house. So I love the water. I do love looking for shells and glass. So I remember we talked about that before. It's like, oh, she's got some sea glass. So that's cool. Yeah. Well, now can you let people know where they can find you online?
Oh, sure. I have a website. I'm all over online. I'm probably on every social media platform out there except for Snapchat. I'm not on Snapchat, or TikTok, but I'm on almost every other one. And then I do have a website. It's www.amandayuhl.com.
All right. Well, thank you so much for making time, and I will be in touch and let you know when this goes out. So
that sounds awesome.
Thanks so much. I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.